Starting to the bottom right, after defeating Bomber in the last game on Icarus, is the second FXO player. It is
FXO Lenok.
The Octopus takes him out with a quick attack. Not the Pokemon version, just a timing attack.
And his opponent to the top left, Strong Brothers player, a little bit of a newcomer still. Starting for Team StarTale is
StarTale, Avenge.
Avenge had a really good run in Code A this season. He's now in the up and downs, but in Code A he defeated a lot of really good players. He took down Haiva in the first round, then he was successful against Fantasy. And in the third round against Life, he actually had Life on the ropes. He could have won that.
Say hello to Barcraft Vienna. Good luck and have fun.
It feels like I will be able to speak a little bit of German later on.
Yeah, you definitely will.
A lot of Germans actually visiting Korea just lately. We
Yeah.
had so many of them in the studio. It's actually really nice.
I've met a few of them just, out and about Seoul, asking me for help in, directions and things like that. It's really cool to see Germans traveling.
Yeah, the other day when I came to the studio, there was like a bus. They were here for some kind of, I think it was a techno festival or something. It was a little bit weird.
There's a lot of music festivals going on right now.
And they asked me to take a picture, but they didn't really know that I was German. I was already a little bit short on time, so I took the picture, but I didn't tell them that I could understand everything they said. I was like, okay, let's get this over. I really have to hurry. And it was kind of funny though.
Yeah. I know that feeling.
So many people just visiting Korea these days. Now that this threat with North Korea is a little bit like gone, even though we have those missile launches that recently just happened from North Korea, feels like people feel a little bit safer traveling.
Yeah, for sure. There's a ton of music festivals going on right now in Seoul too, so that's, I think, part of the reason as well. But we have a Gateway expand here coming out, and, Avenge can do so many different things with this, but it forces a different playstyle out of Lenok. And so far, Lenok is, he's bringing that Overload up. He's already seen, of course, now that, okay, you don't have your Nexus as a Forge Fast Expand.
Lenok is going for a very interesting build here. I mean, he has the gas so fast, and this expansion is now just going down. He's already researching his speed, so that is something that you usually don't see happen. He really wants to make sure that there's no additional scout in the main base. This is very, very fast speed for Berserk.
Yeah, I mean, this is looking like he may want to actually try to punish the expand with a big speedling attack.
Oh, yeah.
We've seen that work a lot of the time. Usually more effective when the game speed is at full.
This is a pretty cool opening from both players. I like that we don't have a Forge Expand here, that we have the Stargate, this Gateway play. And I also love how Lenok is getting a very fast gas to be aggressive in this match.
Probe rescue there.
It's pretty awesome. I mean, this could be a very aggressive style from Lenok. Of course, you always want to get gas when you see your opponent is going into the Gateway, because you need to prepare in case there is some kind of Gateway.
But he got it before he saw.
Exactly. That's the thing. So he gets it very early. Either he was really expecting this, or he just wants to play aggressive.
I think he wants to be aggressive, but the problem he's facing here is that there's a block at the natural. He can't actually even get into the main base, and this is going to be a relatively defensible position for Avenge against this pressure that comes out, because he's going to have enough sentries to eventually push down there. Yeah, it delays his Nexus, but
it doesn't only delay the Nexus, it makes it impossible for Avenge to take it right now.
And he starts at Twilight Council as a result. I think he's just going to go DTs.
This is... Oh, Burrow. We have Burrow. That is so cool right now, and the Overlord just missing. I love this game. This is epic what we see. We have basically Lenok answering to what we see Protoss players do these days, going into the Gateway first instead of starting Forge first. With the early speed, the very, very fast Extractor, he can now start to just deny this expansion for a long time, especially in a map like Cologne, where we have this huge ramp at the front. So every time that Avenge now moves out, he has to have enough sentries to use the force fields and to make sure the Zerglings can't get in. Yeah. Now comes the Nexus, but it's so late already, and the Lings are just moving in once again, and he will force a cancel here.
Yeah. Well, I think he will. I don't think there's any way he should save it. Yeah.
That is so epic. I love this. But the Twilight Council is now done the main base, and there's the Dark Shrine, exactly as you would expect from such a build.
But with the burrow, he can actually just burrow all of his drones and his queens if they're about to die. So he can buy a lot of time with this. He doesn't have a lair though. Oh, he wants to force another cancel. He's not quite able to do it. Great
That would be
defense.
force fields. That would be force fields this time.
Yeah, and he has enough sentries this time to do it for sure.
I really want to know what he's going to use the burrow for, though. If he goes in with roaches, that would be kind of cool. As long as there's no cannon. But
he doesn't have a forge.
This early, Lucky played a style where he used this against Terran with an early burrow upgrade and then just walked in. But still, he has to expect that there's some tech coming. He could really do a lot with this.
He puts up burrows early here, which means no wall. So that's really clever.
That's pretty awesome. Yeah, you're right. That is actually a really smart move. I did not expect that to happen.
Does this here as well, so there can't be a wall?
Yep. So, well, sort of.
Well, he could put a wall in a different way, but
in this situation, it's just like him trying to find out what's going on in the main base. If at any point Avenge moves that Zealot and Linux sees it, he will immediately just unburrow the Ling, run into the main base, and have a scout there.
Yeah. And you can also know that later on, maybe he can go in with a bunch of Lings if he doesn't see anything there. The first DT is going to be warped in right here, but I mean, Lair is done, and he could just burrow anything that gets attacked.
Oh, he only gets one. If he gets 3 and goes for the hatch at the 3rd, then he can take it down immediately. But like this, now he should be able to react. He has Lair done. He needs to go for the Overseer. There it is. And the hatch will survive. I would be very surprised if he can't save it. And so far, he didn't lose too many drones. He's losing a few, but he should be able to defend against this, especially with 3 Overseers.
And if he wants, he can just burrow anything that is attacked. Obviously, it's going to cost him some mining time if he burrows everything, but...
There we go.
Oh, the Queen? He can burrow the Queen, too. Obviously, he's losing mining time here, but he's not going to lose drones.
And the DT looks a little bit silly right now. Looks at the buildings and is like, well, I'm not going to kill those. A lot of mining time lost, and 9 Harvesters killed overall anyway, so it's not like it's completely useless, but losing this many DTs and having all the tech that you're going up for, that was not really worth it.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. But it's a little bit unknown right now what Avenge is going to fall, but look at his supply. He's looking a little bit wimpy right now. He's either going to hit an Immortal push with that forward pylon and add some gateways, or he's going to try to take a 3rd base like right now. But his tech is in such an awkward place where he has Dark Shrine tech and some Immortals, so he might just go for Immortal Archon Zealot type attack and try to end Lenok here. But he's got to make a choice soon, because the longer he waits on taking that 3rd Nexus, Lenok just gets stronger and stronger.
For Lenok, everything lined up perfectly in this game. The early speed gave him the opportunity to just cancel this 3rd base of Avenge. It was very much delayed, a very late expansion therefore for the Protoss. And at the same time, his lair timing and everything lined up so that he could get those Overseers right when the DTs walked into space. Lost a fair amount of Harvesters, 9 in total, but given the investment for Avenge, that was completely worth it. The normal, like the standard tech for Avenge is very much delayed in this game now, and we have burrowed Zerglings kind of everywhere. Lenok is in such an amazing position here, and Avenge can't be happy about this.
All he has to do is hold the push. If he holds this attack, the all-in that's coming out here, then he will be golden. Very good scout here with the Oracle. It's going to be able to see all this. This is not to try to trick Lenok, it's just a different way to scout.
Yeah. At this point, Lenok is in a great position, but as you already said, there is going to be an attack that is directed to take him down, and he has to prepare. And he won't have any Swarm Hosts out there. He's going now into the Infestation Pit, but he will be a little bit too late, so now he has to rely on run-bys.
This is a great composition for Avenge.
Yeah.
He has definitely the advantage when it comes to units.
It's definitely very dangerous. You're completely right about this.
He wants to get that pylon. He cannot commit, though. There's too many units.
You know, Avenge might actually take this down. Lenok needs more units.
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, he has the better composition. He has so many force fields, he has 3 Immortals, and he has tons of Stalkers, basically no Zealots in his army.
Lenok reacted a little bit too late to what he saw. Now he has the Infestation Pit. He might have to sack his 3rd base and fight another day.
Fake Immortals here, so it's hard to target.
Yeah. Well, one of them at least, and here we go. We so far don't have any Swarm Hosts, and they would also be quite too late. We don't have a lot of Spine Crows. They're just now being built. The Force Field's already being used by Avenge. He's making his way up the ramp, another round of Warpins. This is a huge army.
So many units here, and you know, he just needs to buy a little bit more time. I don't know if he can do it, though. There's so many Force Fields still left available. He's trapped these roaches. Lenok is just trying to buy a little bit more time.
Lenok might have been a bit too greedy here. Avenge is already on top of the first ramp, starting to whittle down the hit points of the proxy of the hatch at the natural.
Time warp goes down, slowing the roaches, catching those reinforcements, and Lenok is looking pretty dead.
Lenok, GG's. Wow. That game, oh my god, that was such a weird game overall. Look at the StarTale coach here just high-fiving. He's laughing. He knows that this didn't start well for Avenge.
That was a huge risk he took, but it paid off. He knew that, you know, with his scouts, he kept checking. He knew, all right, Lenok's composition right now is pure roach. It's not upgraded at all. I can hit this timing.
Dude, seriously, this was Lenok's game. Yeah. Lenok had that game. Everything worked out so well for him, and then he got too greedy.
He got too greedy, and he got punished. Avenge saw the opportunity, went for that Immortal push, added the gateways, and...
Think about how late this Infestation Pit was. Their lair tech was already long completed. He already had the overseers, and then he didn't tech. He just sat on his tech and had the roaches, and that was all that he was relying on. It was like he was trying to find out what was happening, and when he finally saw what was coming, it was already too late for him to react.
He really expected a third base, I think.
Yeah.
And it just never came.
Exactly. Avenge took his chances here and was like, well, you know what? Everything that I did so far wasn't a success. I'm in such a bad spot right now, but if I man up this attack and walk out and I have a very strong army, and if you don't have your tech ready, if you just try to deny this with only roaches and with the Zerglings, you won't stand a chance.
Yeah, he kept checking with the hallucinations. And then when he went for the attack, he used 2 hallucinated Immortals, which didn't actually end up helping him all too much because Leenock had an Overseer, and also the Immortals at the back that he had weren't actually firing. The ones at the front were fake and not doing damage. But, I mean, that just goes to show with one of his Immortals at the back not even firing, he was still able to come through. Just how off guard Leenock was really caught by this.
If Leenock builds the Infestation Pit right away and it decides on a tech tree, decides, okay, this is the tech that I'm going to use in this game, and then gets Swarmholds out that he can easily get out in time.
Even
in this
2
scenario.
or 3 would have helped him so much.
Yeah, and well, if he gets like a lot of them out, gets them on the high ground, then with the force fields, then maybe even like that attack doesn't work this way.
Yeah.
Even if you take down the 3rd base, you can come back because the tech is much better that you have, and for the Protoss player on the 2 bases, and with all the investment that you already sacrificed,
all those free
it's
locusts
difficult.
really start to add up when you're defending with that, and then it's like you kill the locust, but then the next locust come, and then suddenly that buys Leenock even more time.
If he gets those locusts out, even if his own 3rd falls, he knows that there is no like follow-up behind it immediately, so he can just get the those Swarmos in position to whittle down at the front of his opponent.
Again,
go into
Overlord
exactly.
Well, who are they going to pick now? Because they lost their ace.
Yeah.
Is it going to be Gumiho?
It looks like it. Yeah, it's going to be Gumiho.
This is a smart choice because we're not playing the Little Leagues right now. This is Avenged. He almost got into Kodas. He had some trouble with Flash, but this is a good choice because in this matchup, that's the matchup he did fail in.
Yeah, but still, I have to say that Avenge played very well against Fantasy. He played good games against Flash. He was just a little bit too nervous. The inexperience of StarTale player showed. If not for his inexperience, I feel he would have had a good chance of defeating Flash, even though the result with the 2-0 looks like overwhelming in Flash's favor, but the games didn't really reflect that. So now it's Gumiho, and Gumiho has to give it his all here, because Avenge, he is strong. He showed it against Leenock, and Gumiho has to be very careful. Extremely so. Before we go into this match, though, we do have a 5-minute break. We'll see you guys in just a few minutes. Get telling everybody about this match. It's been so awesome so far. So many high-profile players. I want everybody to know about it. See you guys when we come back.
Kill every